5784. And we're going to be discussing tonight the Arach Chaim's explanation of, we'll refer to it as the back and forth between Hashem and Balak and Bilam. So we know that Bilam is asked by Balak to curse the Jewish people. And when the first group of Balak's messengers come to ask him to come to curse the Jewish people, he says, I have to ask Hashem. And what does Hashem say? Hashem says, Lo yisarech imahem. Do not go with them. Lo sa'ares ha'am. You shall not curse the nation. Ki baruch hu, for it is blessed. So that's the first time that Hashem says to Bilam, don't go. Now, after the next contingency comes, what happens then? Then, again, Bilam says, I'm going to ask Hashem if I can go. And then Hashem gives a bit of a different response. This is in Perek Chaf Beis, Pasuk Chaf, chapter 22, verse 20. Vayavoy Elokim al Bilam Laila. Hashem came to Bilam at night. Vayomer lo, and he said to him, Im likrei lecha bohu anashim. If these people have come to call you, meaning they have come to give you honor, kum leichitam, arise and go with them. But this thing that I will be but the matter that I will speak to you, that's what you'll do. So the first time Hashem says don't go. This time Hashem says if they are coming to honor you, then go. But just remember, you'll only be able to do what I can tell you to do. So Hashem has kind of seemingly changed his mind a bit. And then right after this, when it says that Bilam went with the people, then we have in Pasuk Chaf Beis, actually Chaf Aleph Chaf Beis, Perek Chaf Beis, chapter 22, verse 21 and 22. Vayakim Bilam ba'boker, Bilam arose in the morning. Vayachavoshes asayna, he harnessed his donkey. Vayelechim sarei Moav, and he went with the officers of Moav. Next verse reads, Vayicharef Elokim ki helechu. Hashem became angry that he was going with him, that he went. And that's when Hashem put an angel to stop him. The donkey saw it, he didn't. And then, again, even after the whole episode with the donkey speaking to Bilam, then Bilam is shown the Malach. Hashem allows the Malach to see the angel. Bilam says to the angel, should I go back? And the angel says no. This is verse 35, Pasuk Lamed Hey, verse 35. Remember, Malach Hashem el Bilam, the angel of God said to Bilam, Leichem enoshim, go with the people. But the word that I will speak with you, that is what you will say. Okay, so if you put it all together, the first time when Bilam asks Hashem about going, Hashem says, don't go. The second time Hashem says, if they are calling you, meaning if they are calling you to give you honor, then go with them, but you'll only be able to do what I say. Bilam goes, and Hashem gets angry at him for going, and sends an angel to be in the way. And then after Bilam realizes the angel's in the way, and Bilam says, should I go back? The Malach says from Hashem, no, go. Leichem anashim, go with them. But whatever I say to do, you'll have to say. Whatever I say is what you'll say. So what's going on here, this back and forth between Hashem and Bilam? Why is Hashem seemingly changing his mind? Another question is that going back, going back to Pasuk Chaf, verse 20, Hashem says to Bilam again after the second request, Im likroi lecha bo anashim, if these people have come to call you, if they have come to honor you, but Hashem's not sure. If they're coming, Hashem doesn't know what they're coming for? What does it mean if they're coming? So the Arach Chaim, I'm going to share with you the Arach Chaim's approach here. The Arach Chaim's approach is that, I'll just give a little addition, and that is that, we're dealing here with a king of a country. We're dealing here with Bilam, who is a well-known prophet amongst the nations of the world. And Hashem wants it to be clear to everyone involved here about the power of Hashem. And there should be no questions of Hashem's limits, that there should be any kind of chas v'shalom limitations to Hashem. That would be a chilul Hashem. There would be desecration of Hashem's name. And therefore, Hashem is dealing with Bilam's request coming from two angles. Number one, The choices are, so to speak, for Hashem to say to Bilam, go, or not to go. So if Hashem says to Bilam to go, says the Arachayim, there's a problem. Because if Hashem says to Bilam, go, curse the Jewish people, and we're talking about the Jewish people that Hashem seemingly had a very special relationship with, it would come across possibly that Hashem can't stop him. That's what they would misconstrue. They would decide that when Bilam said that, why is Hashem letting Bilam go curse the Jewish people? Why is he letting them go with these people to curse them, seemingly? Because he can't stop him. Hashem can't stop Bilam. And that's why he's telling him to go, because he can't stop him. And of course, that's not true. And even if Hashem says go, as Hashem says go, but whatever you say, whatever you're going to do, you'll have to listen to me. You'll have to listen to me. Nonetheless, it could still be thought that Hashem, they may can decide that what this means is Hashem can't stop him. So if Hashem says go, then that gives the impression that he can't stop him. If Hashem says don't go, then that could actually be misconstrued to mean that if Hashem lets him go, he won't be able to stop him from cursing them. That's why he's not letting him go. So there's a problem if he lets him go. It's problem if he doesn't let him go. If he lets him go, then they can start thinking that Hashem can't control Bilam. He can't stop him. If he says to Bilam, don't go, then they can interpret that to mean that if he goes, Hashem can stop him from cursing. So therefore, the first time when Bilam says, can I go? Hashem says, don't go. And by saying don't go, that now makes it clear. And Bilam says, I can't go. Right? That's what Bilam said. Bilam said to Balak's messengers, I can't go. So that already dispels any question of is Hashem able to stop him from going? Hashem is able to stop him from going. That's taken care of. Another thing, says the Arachayim, that when Hashem told Bilam not to go, he was actually trying to do Bilam a favor. It was actually a reward. It was a reward because, to Bilam's credit, when the messengers of Balak said, come curse the Jewish people, twice, Bilam says, I have to ask Hashem. Bilam admits that he is under the rulership of Hashem, at least to some degree. And that's to his credit. And therefore, when Hashem says, don't go, he's actually trying to prevent Bilam from what's eventually going to happen to him, which is eventually he's going to fail this attempt to curse Jewish people is going to fail. And then when his advice is heeded about the fact that at the end of the Parsha, the daughters of Moab bring the Jewish people to idol worship, well, what happens to him at the end? He gets killed. So the Rebbeinu Shem by telling him, Lo Seilech, don't go, was actually trying to reward him for the fact that he admitted that he is under Hashem's control. Okay. So the first time he says, don't go. But now he asks a second time. The second time is when Hashem wants it to be clear. It's when Hashem wants now to dispel the other problem, the other issue. The other issue being that people think, well, why isn't Hashem letting him go? Because if he actually goes, Hashem won't be able to stop him from cursing. And therefore, the second time when Bilam asks, Hashem says to Bilam, Leichem Anashim, go with them. Right? But you'll only be able to do what I tell you to do. Which means to say, Hashem is now showing, even if he goes, Hashem can stop him, can control him from cursing the Jewish people. So this is that change. First, it's not really a change. It's a change in the sense of, first he says no, then he says you could go, but each time it's to dispel a different problem. The first problem being that they may say that Hashem can't stop him from going, and the second being that they'll say that if he goes, Hashem can't stop him from cursing. And therefore, Hashem covers it from both angles. Now, getting to the question of Im Likre Lecha Bo Anashim. The question was, what does Hashem mean if they have come? What's if? Hashem knows. What's the if? So what the answer is, says the Arachayim, the if is not from Hashem's point. The if is what Hashem is trying to bring across to Bilam. He's saying to Bilam, if they're coming to honor you, that means, what is Hashem hinting to Bilam? There is an if here. Maybe they're coming to honor you, maybe they're not. Maybe this will succeed, maybe it won't succeed. Or maybe this is really not a good idea for you to go. If they are coming to honor you, meaning if they're coming to benefit you, go. Hashem is trying to allude to Bilam that maybe there's not a benefit here for you. So what does Hashem want Bilam to do? Says the Arachayim, Bilam was a sorcerer. And what Hashem basically was hinting to Bilam is, you have ways of finding out the future. You have ways of checking in what's going to happen to you with this endeavor. Check into it. Hashem is alluding to Bilam, if they are coming to call you, if they're coming to benefit you. Why is Hashem saying if? He's trying to say, there's a question here, Bilam. It's not so simple that they're coming to benefit you. Check into it. So that is why he said im. And again, says Arachayim, this is his reward. This is a reward for Bilam, showing that he is subject to Hashem's control, at least to some degree, so to speak, besides for these other issues that may come up, that by showing them that he is, if Hashem has a control over him, he was rewarded. He was given the chance to save himself. And at the end of the day, what did he do? He went. At the end of the day, he went. Okay, so now, after Hashem now covers all the angles about that Hashem can stop him from going, even if Hashem lets him go, Hashem can control what he says, okay? But now Hashem gave Bilam a chance to save himself. He told him if it was a hint, Bilam should have taken the hint and checked into it. Did he check into it? Maybe he did check into it. Who knows? But at the end of the day, when you want something, no matter how much you investigate, you're going to come out the end with what you want to do. So the next step is, why did Hashem get angry? Hashem told him to go. So why did Hashem get angry when he went? So the Arachaim has three answers to that. One answer is because of what we just said. Hashem gave Bilam a chance to realize that this is going to not be good for him. And he has a way of saving himself. And he didn't do it. He didn't take the opportunity to do it because he wanted so much to go and curse the Jewish people. So Hashem got angry at him for not taking the hint, for not taking the hint, not taking seriously the hint and saving himself. That's why Hashem got angry. Hashem wasn't angry so much. Hashem told him to go, so he gave him permission to go. But he got angry over the fact that Bilam should have realized not to go because of the hint, the strong hint that he gave him. That's one explanation that the Arachaim gives why he was angry. Another explanation given is because in the pasuk that says that Hashem got angry, let's go back. This is Perek Chav Beis, pasuk Chav Beis, chapter 22, verse 22. Vayichar af Elokim ki hoylechu. Hashem was angry that he was going. That word who is extra. All it had to say was, and Hashem became angry ki hoylech, that he's going. We mean that he's going. Of course he's going. Why is the Torah stressing that word who? He's going. Therefore, the Rachaim, I'll share with you two explanations the Rachaim gives on this. The first explanation is that Kihoylechu, right, is that actually, let's go back to the previous verse, Pasuk Chaf Aleph, verse 21. Vayakom Bilam Babayker, Bilam arose in the morning, he harnessed his donkey, and he went with the officers of Moav. What's missing here? Can you think about what's missing here on Bilam's part? Don't forget, yesterday they came to him and said, Balak sweetens the pot, and he tells him, if you come, I'm going to give you tremendous reward. Now Bilam says, I have to ask Hashem again. Hashem comes at night. Hashem tells him what we spoke about. Next morning, what does it say? He got up, harnessed his donkey, and he went. What didn't he do? He didn't acknowledge that Hashem gave him permission. When Hashem didn't give him permission, he acknowledged it. But when Hashem gave him permission, he didn't acknowledge it. By just getting up, harnessing his donkey, and going, he was giving the impression that it's his decision. I'm going. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'm going. Bilam should have acknowledged to them that he's going because now Hashem gave him permission.
What? He should say something?
Yeah. The same way when he said no, he said, Hashem told me no. Next morning, he should have got up and he should have said, good news, Hashem let me go. He didn't. He just says he got up, harnessed, went. He did not acknowledge that Hashem. He said, I got to ask Hashem, but he didn't acknowledge that Hashem gave him permission. So says Ar HaChaim, that's why Hashem was angry. Another explanation that he gives is on the words ki haylachu, that he is going. Ki haylachu, that he is going, means to say that from Bilam's actions now, it was recognizable that he was going, even if Balak wouldn't. He's going as if Balak never would have asked him to go. He's going because he wants to go. He could have gone because, look, Balak's offering him a lot of money. He's offering him a lot to do this. Okay, he goes. But the way he was going, says Ar HaChaim, he was going as if Balak didn't even ask him to go. He was so into going, he was so happy to go, that the way he went was as if Balak never even would have asked him to go. He is going as if it's on his own, which shows how much he wants to curse the Jewish people. For that, Hashem gets angry. Yes, Hashem told him to go, okay, but to go in such a way, with such zest and such excitement, that it's as if he's going on his own to do this to the Jewish people, not because Balak have asked him, he would have gone. That's how he's acting. Then that is what got Hashem angry. Okay, now, so what happens? Hashem sends an angel to stop Bilam. Hashem doesn't allow Bilam to see the angel. The donkey sees the angel. Bilam hits the donkey 3 times. The donkey speaks to Bilam. Bilam and his donkey have a discussion, have a back and forth. Then Hashem allows Bilam to see the angel. Bilam says to the angel, should I go back? The angel says, Leichem anoshim, go with the people. However, whatever I say to you, that's what you're going to say. Now, says that. So what was happening now? What was Hashem? First Hashem is angry, and now Hashem says go. Now, also, the Ar HaChaim points out, Hashem says go with the people. Why is he saying go with the people? Lech, go. So the Ar HaChaim explains here that, again, whichever explanation you use why Hashem got angry at him, but at the end, Hashem is saying go with the people. I'm letting you go because I want you to go. There's a reason to go. You need to go with these people because the whole reason I'm letting you go is to show them the next thing. But whatever I tell you to speak, that's what you're going to say. There's a point here is still to continue to dispel any thoughts that if you go, that I can't control you. If anybody thinks that I'm letting you go, that if you go, I can't stop you from cursing, that's exactly what I'm going to show right now. So when Bilam says, should I go back? And the answer should have been, yeah, go back. The answer is no, go with the people. Meaning go with them. There's a reason to go with them because you need to show them the next part. That whatever I speak to you, whatever I say to you, that is what you are going to say. That is going to cover the other issue, the other concern, that the people might think that once Bilam goes, Hashem can't stop him from cursing the Jewish people. So if we put it all together, the Ar HaChaim's approach are all together, what we have here is Hashem is as just to put it together, Hashem is covering the 2 points of the fact that there's a concern that if he doesn't let them go, people will think, if he does let him go, people will think that Hashem can't stop him from going. If he lets him go, if he lets him go, people will think that he can't stop Bilam from going. If he doesn't let him go, then people will think that he doesn't let him go because if he goes, Hashem will be able to stop from cursing. So therefore, Hashem dispels both of those things. First, he says, don't go. That means Hashem can stop him from going. Then he tells him to go. He tells him to go because now he wants people to see that even if he goes and he tries to curse, Hashem can stop him. Hashem gets angry at him for going even when he says to go because of the 3 explanations from the Ar HaChaim. And at the end, Hashem tells him to go because the purpose of going is to show everyone that even if Bilam goes and tries to curse, Hashem can stop it. And all this was for the purpose of showing everyone not to even have a possibility in their mind, which could be a chilul Hashem, the desecration of Hashem's name, to think that Bilam somehow or another is out of the control of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Chas v'shalom. Have a wonderful evening.